All right, I've got 12 o'clock on the nose, so I'm going to kick this off and get us started. Today, we are here to talk about Kinship Caregivers in the New York State Office for People with Developmental Disabilities. I have Meghan Glass joining me today. My name is Rae Glaser. I am the director for the New York State Kinship Navigator. I'm going to give just a very brief overview of the Navigator and our services, and then turn it over to Meghan to talk about the content for today's webinar. FYI, as I said, this is going to be recorded. It will be available on the Navigator's YouTube channel, just as all the other Lunch and Learn series are. We are in webinar format with participants muted today. So if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat feature. Meghan and I can answer those questions at the end. And everybody that is registered for the webinar today will be getting the PowerPoint as well as a link to recording. So if you've joined us for any length of time, you know our Lunch and Learn series is the third Thursday of every month at 12 o'clock. What we do is we highlight different fields for kinship specific issues that might be useful to caregivers or people working with with caregivers. Next month, we have Prevent Child Abuse New York and the Resilience Leadership and Learning Institute. If you have ideas for a Lunch and Learn series or something that you'd like more information about, please feel free to contact me directly and we'll get that right on our repertoire. So the New York State Kinship Navigator, I'm just going to take 2 minutes because I think everybody on the call is very familiar. We are statewide information, referral, and education for kinship caregivers, prospective kinship caregivers, and professionals working with them. We have a helpline 10 to 4, Monday through Friday. We have a website where folks can find information on resources that are in their area, legal fact sheets on different kinship issues. We work with local departments of social services, kinship services, people all across the state to make sure that caregivers get what they need. As you can see, we have information on all of our facets, information in the form of legal fact sheets, county resources, our helpline. We have education, we do presentations, Kinship 101. We have online videos about how to apply for public assistance, what your legal options are. We have Lunch and Learns like we're doing today. We make referrals across the state for caregivers to help get them on-site support. And we provide advocacy for kinship caregivers on a case-by-case basis, as well as leadership for the KinCare Coalition, which the link is right on this slide. If you have a vested interest in kinship care, want to know more about best practices and policy, feel free to join our coalition. We meet once a month, the second Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Here's just a quick snapshot of our website, www.nysnavigator.org. Lots of good information there. You know, feel free to hop on, see what's available in your community, or connect with one of our kinship specialists via online chats. Last thing I'll mention about our program, actually there's two, it's been a while since I've done this, apologies. Virtual case management in some of our counties, 16 to be exact, we have a virtual case manager. We are not an on-site program, but we can work with caregivers in these counties to provide virtual case management, which means that we work with them for up to 6 months. We work with them to make sure that they get benefits, facilitated benefits. We do specialized referrals in those counties. We administer something called the Family Needs Scale, which is a 42 questionnaire to assess what a caregiver's needs are, and really that case management style that you would see in a local kinship program, just in a bigger variety of counties, and it's done virtually. You don't have to do anything special to enroll in virtual case management. If you or one of the clients you work with are from one of those counties, if you call our helpline, we'll make sure that you get enrolled. And then the last thing is our permission to contact form. It is right on our website, right on homepage. If you're working with caregivers, you want to refer them to us, you can always give them our phone number. But sometimes if you give somebody the phone number, they may or may not call us. So the permission to contact form is really just a good way to make sure that a caregiver can get in contact with us. You fill out the form with the caregiver, they sign it, fax it or email it to us, and we will call them. So feel free to use that. If you need more information on it, feel free to contact us. And that is the Navigator in a quick 4-minute nutshell. At this point in time, I'm going to turn it over to Meghan. We are going to play just a little bit with our technology. Meghan's going to share her screen right now and start to talk a little bit more about what the New York State Office of People with Developmental Disabilities can do for kinship caregivers. Megan, I can see your screen right now, which is fantastic. So whenever you're ready to rock and roll, feel free to go for it.
Thank you, Rae. I'm really excited to be here. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Meghan Glass, and I work for the New York State Office for People with Developmental Disabilities as the Assistant Statewide Front Door Coordinator. And I'm going to get into more information about what the front door is specifically, but essentially, it's the single point of access to contact and learn about OPWDD services, much like the front door to your home is the first point of contact into your house. I work out of our central office located in Albany, but OPWDD provides services statewide. So on this slide is my contact information. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you. And if I don't know the answer, I can certainly direct you towards somebody who does. So today I hope to provide you with more information on OPWDD, the front door specifically, the eligibility process, care management, services that OPWDD provides, and what to do next if you or somebody you know could benefit from accessing OPWDD supports and services. So the New York State Office for People with Developmental Disabilities, also known as OPWDD, is the agency responsible for providing services to people with developmental disabilities. Our mission and vision is to help people with developmental disabilities live richer lives, enjoy meaningful relationships, and make choices about how they want to live their lives. OPWDD has 5 regional offices across the state that work directly with people and their families to determine their eligibility for services and help you enroll in services. Which regional office you work with depends on where you live within the state. So OPWDD provides services to adults and children with developmental disabilities. The services that you need may vary depending on your personal circumstances and the availability of your natural and community supports. And those types of supports includes friends and family that may be helping you, or other services that you're receiving through different service systems or accesses of help. And so depending on your personal circumstances, like for example, children often receive services through their school system. So the services that a child may get through OPWDD would be in addition to those services, but they cannot replace what a child is receiving at school. Adults, on the other hand, often don't have the same support system as children, and they may need more help with independent living skills, finding employment, or housing. So as I had mentioned earlier, the front door is the place in which you can get access to services. Each regional office has a front door team, and they will guide you through the steps necessary to receive the supports and services that are appropriate to meet your needs. The front door process can take several months to complete, but you will not go through the front door process alone. Your regional office will be there to support you, and they will connect you with care coordination organizations or service access agencies within your area that can help you through the entire front door process. To receive services, you must meet eligibility requirements through our front door process, and the front door team or the care coordination organization that you work with will guide you through these steps as necessary to receive the supports and services that are appropriate to meet your needs. The first step in our front door process is to make initial contact with OPWDD, and this is where you will provide some demographic information about yourself, and OPWDD will just get a sense of what you're looking for and your basic needs. When you do contact the front door, this is where you could request an interpretation or translation services available in any language. After you make initial contact, your next step will be eligibility to receive services, and this will be determined based on a review of your application and other supporting information and documentation. Once you have been determined eligible, you will take part in an assessment process to identify your strengths, needs, and preferences. That assessment will be used as a guide to help you make a plan for the services that you need to help you meet your goals. And you will then make a request for services to OPWDD by choosing a provider agency and to begin the process of accessing services. So before getting the OPWDD services, you will need to apply for eligibility. OPWDD's eligibility review can take up to 3 steps, but not everyone is required to or will need to go through all steps. Staff at the regional office will review the information that your care coordination organization or service access agency submitted to determine if your disability meets the requirements as described in New York state law. In some instances, the documentation provided will be enough to make a determination, but other times the regional office may reach out to you for more information to help them make a decision. I just want to note that citizenship status is not a factor in determining OPWDD eligibility, and you do not need to be a U.S. citizen to receive OPWDD services. So New York State defines a developmental disability as a condition that occurs from birth until the age of 22. It's a condition that is expected to continue indefinitely or permanently and is so severe that it makes it very difficult for you to live everyday life independently. Some examples of developmental disabilities that may qualify you for OPWDD eligibility include intellectual disability, autism spectrum disorder, cerebral palsy, epilepsy, familial dystotomia, Prader-Willi syndrome, and neurological impairment. To help OPWDD make a determination on whether or not you are eligible to receive services, you will need to submit the following information. And this includes a psychological report, which is an assessment of intellectual functioning. This is also called an IQ test. A social developmental history, which is a psychological report that shows how you developed the disability and that you became disabled before the age of 22. A medical specialty report, and this includes a health status and diagnostic findings to support the diagnosis that you have. An assessment of adaptive skills, and depending on your report, your condition, reports from one or more specialty assessments. These, you may have some of these reports already, or you may need to make an appointment with a specialist to get these reports. The care coordination organization or the service access agency that you choose will help you find specialists who can do these evaluations, and these organizations will also submit the documents for you, as OPWDD will not accept documents that are submitted directly by you or your family. They need to come from one of these organizations. So the eligibility requirements are the same for adults and children. However, OPWDD may grant what is called provisional eligibility, and this is based on clinical judgment of a child's disability and needs. Young children may have delays in development that can change or improve as they grow. Provisional eligibility means that a child may get OPWDD supports and services for a limited period of time, but their eligibility must be reviewed again before their 8th birthday. The regional office will decide when a child should be evaluated again and whether the child is still eligible for OPWDD services past their 8th birthday. So I've been talking about care coordination organizations that are available to help you through the front door process. And essentially, care coordination organizations provide care management, which is a service that helps you and your family get the services and supports that you need. Care management is provided by care managers who work for care coordination organizations. And these organizations provide care management, serving planning, and coordination that focuses on what you need. A care coordination organization will work closely with you, the OPWDD regional office, and any service providers to help you through all of the steps of the front door process, including the OPWDD eligibility process, the Medicaid application process. They'll help you with identifying services that meet your needs and provider agencies that you may want to provide those services. They'll be making sure services are meeting your needs and make any changes as needed as your goals may change. Your care manager will also help you coordinate your healthcare and your wellness services, such as any community or social supports like mental health services, addiction or substance abuse services, in addition to the OPWDD services you may be receiving. There are 2 options to choose from, care management options to choose from, depending on your needs and preferences. Health home care management is a more robust, comprehensive care management option, and it provides coordination of the developmental disability services that you or your family need, while also providing comprehensive coordination of other health and behavioral health care services. The basic home and community-based services plan support, HCBS, that's what the acronym is up on your screen. This focuses on planning related only to your OPWDD HCBS waiver services, and it does not coordinate any other health or behavioral health services that you may also be receiving. There's also a third care management option, but it's only available in a certain part of the state, the downstate part of the state. You may choose to enroll in the fully integrated Duals Advantage for individuals with developmental disabilities. FIDA IDD is what we call it for short. The FIDA IDD is a managed care plan, and this is for only people who are 21 or older that are eligible for both Medicare and Medicaid, and they live in the Bronx, Kings, Nassau, New York, Queens, Richmond, Rockland, Suffolk, or Westchester counties. So all of those downstate areas of the state. FIDA IDD is provided by Partners Health Plan, and if you choose to enroll in the FIDA IDD, the Partners Health Plan will be the provider of your care management services. If you're interested in learning more about the FIDA IDD and you meet those sort of more specific requirements, you can contact your regional office and they will help connect you to that service.
Just a time check, Megan, because you told me to do it. You got about
yes,
10 more minutes. You're doing
okay. There's just so much to say in such a short period of time. Thank you for that, Rae. Okay, I'm going to skip this slide because it sort of reiterates what I've already said about the role of care coordination organizations and the level of support that they provide you and help navigating systems. So OPWDD offers a wide variety of services, and not all OPWDD services are right for every person. You will need to demonstrate a need for each service that you are seeking. The types of OPWDD the types of services that we offer include family support services, and this provides support to a family with a developmental disability who's living at home. And these supports vary regionally, and they can include things like social skills training, crisis support, and family reimbursement. We provide community habilitation and day habilitation, and these teach you skills to live as independently as possible. Respite provides relief to caregivers. Assistive technology are assistive devices or modifications to your home to help you live independently at home. We offer employment services to help you obtain the skills necessary to help get or keep a job. We have some housing options that will help pay for rent for your own home or community-based housing options. And we have behavioral and clinical support services to help you live in the home by teaching you skills to cope with challenging behaviors and emotions, while also offering rehabilitative supports such as physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech language pathology. So as I'd mentioned, if you want to begin to learn more about OPWDD services or access services, your first step is to make contact with the OPWDD front door. I do have some slides on the contact numbers, and once you make contact with us, you'll be connected with a care coordination organization or a service access agency within your area. An assessment will be completed to identify your strengths, needs, and preferences. You'll request services. OPWDD will authorize the services, and then you'll begin to develop a plan on how you'll get those services. So I'm going to just pause here. We have our regional office contact numbers broken up by region. So the Capital Taconic region, and then the Hudson Valley region.
And just a reminder to everybody on the call today, these slides will be shared. It's also being recorded. So anybody that's signed up will be receiving the PowerPoint so that you've got the point of contact for your county.
Great. This is Central New York, Southern Tier, and the North Country, Long Island, and then all of the New York City numbers, each borough. And then the Finger Lakes and Western New York region. And that's our website. So Rae, I guess we could take this opportunity to see if any questions have come in.
Fantastic. Let's see. We've got one from Deb Donnelly. I have a teen who I feel like can qualify. He's on the autism spectrum, but his school doesn't feel he would be eligible. Will this hold up the process? No, the school doesn't have a say in determining somebody's eligibility. I would advise contacting the front door in your region. They'll connect you with a care coordination organization who will work with you on obtaining the required documentation. And you could submit that documentation, and the eligibility team, which is made up of clinical staff, will make that determination and require any additional information that may be needed to support a determination. Okay, fantastic. All right, Deb, and then if you run into issues with it, please feel free to let us know, and, we'll make sure that we reach out to the correct person. Deb wants to know, do they have to requalify between being a youth and then again as an adult?
So no, not in every case. The only time you may need to be assessed for eligibility if you are a child under the age of 8 who was granted provisional eligibility. If you are a child under the age of 8 and got like a full eligibility term, that will carry with you through life. It doesn't need to be reassessed. However, if you were that child with provisional eligibility, you would need to resubmit some of those psychological reports and other evaluations for OPWDD to make a final determination that would then be carried on through the duration of that individual's life.
Fantastic. Okay. We do have somebody that has a question about child eligibility. This is from Mark. He had asked if you could answer it, or if he should reach out to the local office. And I told him he can go ahead and type it in here. Haven't heard back yet. Mark, if you're not able to type in your question within the next couple of minutes, feel free to reach out to us individually. And we will just take a minute. If anybody else has any question, he says there's too much detail. That's totally fine. Mark, go ahead and reach out to your local office. If you're struggling with it, feel free to reach out to Megan or myself. We'll make sure it goes in the right direction. Does anybody else have any questions? You can feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll take just a minute, as we're giving folks a chance to do that. I just want to remind everybody that the next Lunch and Learn is July 20th at 12 p.m. We'll be working with Prevent Child Abuse New York. There will be a link on our website later on today to register for that Lunch and Learn, so keep an eye out for it. It will also go out via Tidbits, which the opportunity to sign up for Tidbits, which is our weekly newsletter, is also right on our homepage. If you've got any questions about any of it, feel free to reach out to me. I think everybody on the call knows me, Rae Glaser, the director of New York State Kinship Navigator program. Thank you very much, Megan, for all the wonderful information today. Much appreciated. I think all of our families can benefit from this. And we appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks to everybody on the call today for participating. Later on today or tomorrow, we will get out those slides to everybody that registered, as well as the recording to everybody that registered. And then that recording will be available on our YouTube channel and right on our online video section on our website. So thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye.